So welcome back, and we are now going to carry on practicing solving equations, and we hope that you've tried the questions that we asked you to try, and we're going to dive straight in. So let's have a look. So this first one, 3x plus 5 is 17. All right, we're trying to solve this equation. We're trying to work out what value of x makes this true. Now, let's just talk about what's happening to x here. It's being multiplied by 3, and then we are adding 5. Okay, so remember the idea of a present being unwrapped? When we wrap the present, we put on layers of paper. When we unwrap it, the first one to come off is the one that went on last. Listen again. We're multiplying by 3, then adding 5. So when we undo that, we must undo it in the reverse order. We must subtract 5. And then divide by 3. But we're going to do one thing at a time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. Now, 17 minus 5. I'm writing 17 minus 5. With practice, I would rather we go straight to just writing 12. Okay? But maybe you're not sure that it's 12. So let's just simplify that. It is in fact 12. So 3x is 12. Now, what must I do to undo multiplying by 3? I must divide by 3 on which side? On both sides. 12 divided by 3. What's 12 divided by 3? It's just 4. And there's our final answer. Don't forget to check your answer. By checking it, what we're saying is we're going to take that value of 4 and we're going to substitute it back in there. All right. Remember 3x means 3 times x. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 5, 17. Yes, 17 equals 17. This answer is definitely correct. Okay, now let's look at this next one. Now the x's are on the right-hand side. It doesn't matter. Look what's happening to x here. We've got 6 times x plus 4. We don't want this plus 4 here. Think of our scale. What can I do to both sides to get rid of a plus 4? To both sides, to keep the scale balanced, to keep the equation equal. I can subtract 4 from both sides. Okay, and this time, and I hope you're going to be okay with this, if we subtract 4 on the right-hand side, we've just got 6x. And if we subtract 4 from 22, I'm going to go straight to 18. I've subtracted 4 from both sides. And the question we want to ask ourselves, is this better or worse than it was? I think it's a bit better because now there's only one thing happening to x. It's being multiplied by 6. How do I undo multiplying by 6? I divide by 6. On which side? On both sides. If I divide by 6 on one side and not the other, the equation is going to not be balanced anymore. So let's divide by 6 here, and I'm just left with 1x. Do I need to write the 1? No, I don't need to write the 1. Okay, just x. Okay, now on this side, I'm going to divide by 6. Okay, and 18 divided by 6, we know the answer to that is 3. So x is 3. Notice we've actually written that 3 is x. That's the same thing. All right. Can we substitute it in and just check? Yes, of course we can. If we put 3 in here, 6 times 3, 18, plus 4, 22. Yep, 22 is what we've got on the left-hand side. It's definitely correct. Okay, we're going to ask you, in case you were struggling with this, we're going to ask you just to pause and try number 9 and number 10 before we go over them. Okay, so number 9. How can I get rid of this subtracting 4? I can add 4. To which side? To both sides. Okay, 20 plus 4, 24. How can I get rid of timesing by 3? I can divide by 3. On which side? On both sides. There's our answer. Okay, now it doesn't matter if you need to have extra lines of working. In other words, if you want to show the 20 plus 4 and the 24 divided by 3, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but there is the answer. If we check it by substituting, if we take this value of 8, and we put it in here, 8 doesn't mean 338, it means 3 times 8, 3x, 3 times x. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 4 is 20, and 20 is what we have on the right-hand side. 8 is the only number that will work. 8 is the solution to the equation. Right, this one over here. What should we do to get rid of this subtraction of 1? Let's add 1. To which side? To both sides. Okay, this time I'm writing it out in full. Maybe you prefer it. Okay, do you see what we've done? We've added 1 to both sides. The equation is still balanced. Okay, now if we do some simplifying, on the left-hand side, we get 5x. And notice we spent a lot of lessons previously simplifying algebraic expressions. That's why we did it. All right, we did that so that we can do this. 19 plus 1, 20. Okay, right, now we just need to find out what 1x is. How do we get from 5x to 1x? We're going to divide by 5 on both sides. Because remember, this means 5 times. The undoing of timesing by 5 is dividing by 5. If I divide, and I'm going to write it like this, and I'm going to write it like this. I divide by 5 on that side, and I'm going to divide by 5 on this side. Okay, all right. So when I divide 5x by 5, I just get 1x. All right, and when I divide 20 by 5, I get 4. My answer is that 1x equals 4. I don't normally bother to write the 1, just x equals 4. Can we check it? Yes, we can. If we pop that value of x for 4 in here, 5 lots of 4 is 20. 20 minus 1, 19 equals 19. It is definitely correct. Okay, there are 3 more at the bottom of the page. We want you to try these ones. Pause the video, try them, and then we'll go over them. Okay, so the first one. Let's add 1 to both sides. How do we get from 3x to 1x? Let's divide both sides by 3. 3 times x. How do we undo timesing by 3? We divide by 3 on both sides. Now you'll notice here in this one I've written the answer down without writing the calculation. Okay, this next one, wow, what's going on here? We've got 2x plus 6x plus 2 equals 50. Let's simplify it a little bit first. Are there any like terms? Yes, there are. Those two terms are like. Let's add them together. Okay, so what we're going to get, 2x plus 6 is 8x plus 2 equals 50. What can I do to get rid of adding 2? I can subtract 2. Sorry, I realized that I didn't unpause this. Sorry. Okay, I can subtract 2. So let's subtract 2 from both sides. We're going to get that. Now, this is 8x is 48. Right? That's 8x. X is being multiplied by 8. How do we undo multiplying by 8? We divide by 8. On which side? On both sides. Okay, I'm hoping you're realizing the answer is always on both sides. There's our answer, all right? But we should be able to work this out. Hopefully we don't need a calculator. 48 divided by 8 is 6. Let's check this. And what we're going to do, we're going to check this by going right back to the very beginning. Okay, and so I'm actually going to do the check over here. So I'm going to go 2x, 2 times 6, plus 6 times 6, plus 2. And I'm going to check that all of this comes to 50. If it does, then I'm correct. Okay, this is 12. This is 36. And this is 2. 12 plus 36 is 48, plus 2 is 50. This is definitely correct. Okay, 6 is the only number that works. Right, now, for the first time here, we're actually going to get a fraction. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't be scared of fractions. We've studied them. All right. What should I do to get rid of this plus 5? Let's subtract 5 from both sides. Okay, now, what should we do to both sides to get rid of timesing by 2? We should divide both sides by 2. And there is our answer. Right, now 15 over 2 is not a whole number. All right, if we actually divide it, 15 is an odd number, so we're not going to get a whole number. 2 goes into 15 7 times, and we've got another half. 7 and a half. This is the mixed number. These are both correct answers. Doesn't matter which format you put your answer in, either like that or like that. But that is our answer for x. And as always, we can check. All right. This time, I'm actually going to use a calculator to check. All right. And I know you might be a bit surprised by that. Okay. So let's just have a look at how that's going to look. I'm going to put 7.5 in here. So I'm going to go 2 times 7,5. Now notice I've changed 7.5 to a decimal form. All right. We need to be good at doing all of this. And then plus 5. If our answer is correct, we should get 20. Ah, it is. Okay. When we put 7.5 in, we get 20. Okay. Right. So all of this just becomes simpler with practice. Okay. So what we want you to do now is we're going to now look at an example which is harder to solve just in our heads by inspection. We're going to look at ones where we've got x's on both sides. All right. So let's look at this, and we're thinking the whole time about a scale. All right. We've got 3x plus 2 on the one side, and we've got x plus 10 on the other side. They are balanced. Whatever we do on one side, we must do on the other side. Right, so we don't want x's on both sides. So let's subtract x from both sides. Okay, so thereby what's going to happen if we do that? We're going to eliminate the x, we're going to take it away. We're going to take away the x from the right hand side. Okay, so what it will look like if we subtract x from both sides, and I'm going to write it out kind of in full here. 3x plus 2 minus x equals x plus 10 minus x. What we hope you're seeing here, if we've got our exact equation that we had, but we are subtracting an x from both sides. Okay, now let's simplify this. This actually simplifies 3x and minus x, these are like terms, is just 2x. So we've got 2x plus 2, and on the right hand side, we haven't got any x's, we've just got 10. Is this better or worse than it was? This is much better than it was. Now, we don't want this 2 on the left hand side. So let's subtract 2 from which side? From both sides. Okay. And if we do that, all right, then our next line will look like this. 2x, I'm writing it in full. Okay, I've got exactly that equation, and I've subtracted 2 from both sides. As we get better, we can do the calculations in our head. Okay, but I think you can see what we've done there. We've done the same thing to both sides. Our scale is still balanced. Okay, now if we simplify this, this comes to, this plus 2 and minus 2, they cancel each other out, and we just get 2x equals 8. All right. Now, we now know the value of 2x. We don't know the value of x. Okay, we know the value of 2x. How are we going to get from 2x to 1x? So to get the value of x, we need to divide by 2. On which side? On both sides. Okay, so if we remind ourselves what our equation was, it was 2x equals 8. So we're going to go 2x, and we're going to divide by 2. And on this side, we're going to go 8, and we're going to divide by 2. All right, there it is. We're dividing by 2 on both sides. And by doing the same thing to both sides, we are keeping it balanced. Okay, now this 2 and this 2 divide out, leaving us just with x. And this 8 divided by 2 comes to 4. All right. There's our answer. Now, I'm going to check that answer, all right? Let's do a check. It's always nice to check. Let's go right back to the original question. The original question was 3x plus 2 equals x plus 10. 3x plus 2 equals x plus 10. X plus 10, sorry. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to substitute 4. Substitute 4, that's our answer, 4 for x. Okay, let's see what we get. When we go 3 times 4 plus 2, okay, that's what we get on the one side. On the other side, we get 4 plus 10. Now, on this side, we've got 12 plus 2. On this side, we've got 14. And 12 plus 2, we've got 14 equals 14. Ha! Halala, it works. 4 is the number that makes this equation work. You can try any other number. If you try another number, it will not work. I'll just show you. If you put 5 in, 3 times 5, it's 15 plus 2, you get 17. And if you put 5 here, you get 15. 17 equals 15. Ahí corriento. It doesn't work like that. Okay, 4 is the answer. 4 is the only answer. Right, let's do another one like this, and this will be the last thing we do today, and then we'll ask you to try some. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Let's subtract 2x from both sides. Now, the reason we want to do that is at the moment we've got x's on both sides. Okay, so let's subtract 2x from both sides. And if we do that, this becomes 2x. It's 4x minus 2x. It's 2x plus 2. On this side, we subtract 2x. All we are left with is 20. Okay, right? Now, let's subtract 2 from both sides. I don't want this 2 here. I'm trying to get x on its own. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. That 2 goes away here, and 20 minus 2, 18. Now, what's happening to x? It's being multiplied by 2. I don't want 2x. I just want 1x. Elidodwa, just 1. Okay, I don't need to write that 1 there. What have I done to get from 2x multiplying by 2? I'm dividing by 2 on both sides. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Okay, let's check. Let's check that that actually is right. Okay, the left-hand side will be 4 times 9 plus 2. It's actually going to be 36 plus 2. It's actually going to be 38. Let's look at the right-hand side. The right-hand side is going to be 2 times 9 plus 20. 2 times 9 is 18 plus 20. 18 plus 20, 38. Halala. The reason we're saying halala is that the left-hand side and the right-hand side are equal when x is 9. X is 9 is our solution to this equation. Now, I want to show you something here just before we finish. You might say, Paul, angifuni 4x here. I don't want this 4x here. Let's subtract 4x from both sides. That's also okay. All right, if we subtract 4x from both sides, we're going to get 2 on the left-hand side. Now, we've got 2x minus 4x. That's minus 2x plus 20. This is also correct. Okay, I don't want this 20 here. Let's subtract 20 from both sides. 2 minus 20, negative 18. Now, what's happening to x on the right-hand side? It's being multiplied by negative 2. How do we undo multiplying by negative 2? We divide by negative 2. On which side? On both sides. Have a look at this. Now, what happens when you divide a negative by a negative? You get a positive. We get exactly the same answer with the blue method on the right as we did with the red method on the left. The blue method is a little bit messier because we end up with negative numbers. But don't be scared of negative numbers. Okay? All right? This one over here, we actually subtracted 2x. We subtracted the smaller number of x's from both sides. Okay, but both methods are correct. As long as you do the same thing to both sides, you will be making progress. Okay, and you won't be making an error. Right, we're going to stop there. Before the next lesson, we want you to try these 4 questions. Okay, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Salani gahle.